Everyone, and welcome to our weekly our weekly Zoom phone call with IPM, where we take time each Friday, typically a little later, but we're meeting at 10 a.m. Eastern this week to accommodate our two presenters, who are two really wonderful, remarkable women. Many of you have had the opportunity to travel with IPM Nepal and perhaps have met Fulmati and Soni also at gatherings in the United States, particularly Soni, who's been at the last couple of General Assemblies in Cleveland, Ohio. But we're thrilled to have them with us today. I do a weekly faith walk every Friday morning early, so I'm sorry that if I look a little like I've just been on a 10-mile hike, because I have. But I'm gonna take my video off because I'm on my phone. Connection is not great, and let Fulmati and Soni make their presentation, and then I'll be back to moderate our conversation after they're finished. As always, you can include questions in the chat function on Zoom or type them live into Facebook, which will also moderate during the conversation. And just a reminder that today at 2 o'clock Eastern Time, we'll be joined by Marta Arroyo and Luz Dari, two of our project partners in Ibagué, Colombia, to tell us about their work with the Center for the Formation of Peace and with an organization that literally translate is We Are Women. And they do remarkable work there. That will be in Spanish at 2 o'clock today. And then next week at 11 o'clock, we will be gathering with Fatima Guadalupe Pacas, who is the former regional director of IPM's office in Latin America and the Caribbean, currently about to enter her second year of a Fulbright scholarship at the University of Albany in New York State. So Fulmati Thapa, as some of you know, is one of the newest members of IPM's International Executive Board. And she's been involved, I can't tell you exactly how long, but was a project coordinator and worked alongside Leah Schulte in Bandipur, Nepal, primarily. And Soni Shrestha has been her colleague for years. Soni lives in the capital of Kathmandu, but has gone back and forth to the many projects that was what was known as West was involved with around environmental justice, reforestation, and particularly something called a calendar project, which I'll let them tell you more about. That was an awareness-raising sort of Frarian community development program, also originally coordinated through Leah Schulte. And Soni has been serving as an IPM fellow for the past year and a member of our team going back, 6 or 7 years now. So we're thrilled to have them both with us. They'll be presenting in English. And but when we get to the question and answer section, because of the time delay and also that English isn't their native tongue, I would ask you to speak slowly and more carefully probably than you usually do. So without further ado, it's great to see you all, and I'll turn it over to Fulmati and Soni at this time. Soni, are you there? Or Fulmati?
Soni is muted.
Yeah, I'm just seeing.
Fulmati? Fulmati is also here, right?
I thought she was. Yeah.
She was.
She was.
In the beginning, she was. Fulmati?
She's muted. I'm not able to unmute her. She's, I think, using her phone. There she is.
Yes, mute
सुन्नुभयो ए ल अनि त्यो म अनम्युट गर्दै ओके भन्नुस्
सुन्यो now see you all are welcome in this presentation. This Fulmati and Soni are here for presenting about our projects, how we did and how we have complete, and it's very grateful to be with you here, that thankful to IPM that you give us a chance to speak on this, how we are doing in this COVID situation. Like this COVID-19 is this all we are all facing with this same situation. Like somehow in some country they have many cases and some have a little case. So in Nepal also we are suffering from the COVID-19. Here we have not so much cases, but we are facing with the situation on 15 July. So this is the cases how it is suffering in the Nepal. I'm presenting now. So, we have a Prayas Nepal NGO organization named Prayas Nepal, and this presentation in Nepal is Soni, Shrestha and Fulmati. Elsa, can you show another slide?
Next slide, please.
Slide, another one. Elsa?
Yes. Do you see it?
The next one. Yes, I'm.
Hello?
I'm okay. How are you? Seems like there's a delay. Our apologies.
Oh, can I try from my side?
Yes, please.
You could certainly.
Or okay, I will try from here. If not, you can help me.
Elsa, there are some people who have not muted. I am getting other conversation and noise. So you might want to recommend.
Yes, thank you. If you have not muted yourselves, please do so. It does add to the background noise.
सोनी जी जो स्क्रीन पे है ना वो जरा पढ़ के आप बता दीजिए.
Screen is not showing.
अच्छा, अभी जो है ना, अभी सेकंड स्क्रीन है
अभी
जो
one. No, first screen है.
Try to upload your.
What I'm suggesting, Elsa, is that you just announce the screen number, the slide number, and then she has a copy with her. So she will read that out.
Okay, we're on slide number 3, Soni.
Okay, I will see. Okay. Where is the...
तो 23% वाला आप पढ़ के सुनाइए.
I cannot see. Wait, just for a minute. This is screen sharing. Elsa has a screen share is come.
Would you like us to?
Slide is not coming here.
Would it be helpful for us to read your bullet points?
Yes.
Okay, Mahesh, do you want to do that or do you want me to do that?
I was gonna, suggest maybe Mahesh or you, whoever can see you.
Yeah, I'll try, and if I get disconnected because of the bad connection, I would request you to carry on.
Okay.
So let me start with this. Okay, so this is she's discussing the impact that COVID has had on Nepal, and she's quoting from the 2020 WFP interview of 4,416 households via phone in all 7 provinces of Nepal. So the data that is being generated from it, she's sharing with us all. So the bullet points are that 23% of households had inadequate food consumption. So that's the first one. 3 in 10 households have lost some income. 3 in 4 households have had food stocks. I think what she means is that every 4th person did not have food stock. 55% of household sources source food through market purchase. So there is no government aid, they have to buy it themselves. The minimum dietary diversity not met by 46% of children between 6 to 23 months of age. So I guess children who are between newlyborns who are between 6 and 23 months, 46% of them are not getting adequate dietary requirements. 1 in 10 lost jobs due to the COVID directly. 42% of these had 1 month worth of food stocks. So I don't have the date here, but I guess this is at a particular point of time. And these households need income to acquire food. The next slide, please. So yeah, this is well known globally that 1/3 of the Nepali economy relies on tourism or from remittances from overseas workers. And currently both have collapsed. And this is a cause of great distress, economic distress, social and political too. We'll come to that later. So also the many families who take a loan to send family members to work abroad in Korea, in Malaysia or Qatar, the family members are unable to repay the loans back home. So that leads to compounding of loans. And this is, I think, what Soni is referring to is the job losses and business failures. This is true of almost every place in Nepal, every town, every village. And especially those who are daily wages, who earn on a daily basis and need to receive money on a daily basis just to survive and to have purchasing power. The next slide, please. Soni, am I doing okay? Am I saying the right things? If you can get back anytime, you're free to do so. Thousands of Nepali migrant workers are returning daily, especially from India. It's a large percentage of Nepal workers work in India, and every 100 rupees earned in India is equivalent to 160 rupees in Nepal. So it's like it's a big advantage for them to work in India because the money in Nepali rupees is much more. Others who work in Gulf and Malaysia have been placed in, who have flown back, have been placed in quarantine in Kathmandu. For the first 2 months of lockdown, they were trapped in other countries, unable to work, often unable to pay rent and have money for food. These are again a large number of migrants because Nepal itself is not able to take care of the work requirements and financial requirements of most families. So a large percent of them go abroad. The next slide, please. Okay, so it's more than 3 months since schools and universities in Nepal have closed down. And as of the second week of May, the estimates were that more than 9 million students in Nepal are affected in response to the pandemic. Out of this, 11% are in pre-primary, 28% are in the primary level of schooling, and 5% are in tertiary education. Besides that, yeah, the monsoon season has started over here and there's heavy rainfall and flooding. So many people have lost their homes and houses have been damaged. Similar to the cyclones you have been experiencing in some other parts, but this is heavy rainfall and very often there are the land collapses and houses also get damaged in that process. Again, the source is UNESCO, as you can see. Okay, this is an interesting part of, Soni, please carry on.
Yes, can I? Okay. I have, yes, these pictures are from the tourists staying during the lockdown time. At the lockdown time, 12 tourists were stayed there, and in Bandipur, Fulmati Didi and other people help them to stay there and giving them free meal, twice time meal. And the next picture is from distribute masks, soap and sanitizer. People who are entering the Bandipur village, first they have to wash their hand and they will sanitize. Then only the new people can enter the Bandipur village. Next one is the Fulmati is tree planting. In the lockdown time, we cannot go outside and many people are not doing anything. So they have with the women group and other Bandipur hotel tourism group, they have planned for tree planting. And the next one is Arthumka is village where we have a special project there, and the Arthumka, I have described here a little bit about Arthumka village. They have a little, yes, a little land, and they have a just they have crops, but they have that feed only 3 to 5 months only. So some of the people, most of the people, they have a bamboo product, and they weave the bamboo products and that sale, and then only they can get once a meal. And most of the villagers, the younger one, they go to the India for work. That is for income, their income generation. And during the lockdown time, that also impact in the Arthumka village, because most of the bamboo, they just produce one bamboo product, and that one sell to the market, and that money they can feed their family. But in lockdown time, so many people are not going there, and they don't have market to buy or to sell that bamboo. They are also suffering from the food shortage. And that village, I have this, the next slide is the picture of the Arthumka, where the village is this one, and the children, before we have a project there, like as we support them, the school children, for food, sports supplies, musical instruments, and whatever that need. First, we also did the health checkup. There many people, they don't have a small basic health checkup. They don't get any checkup. So we and our family, our friends help them to go there, and some of the friends are doctors, and they do a free health checkup. And we also did there the eye checkup, and most of the villagers are suffering from the cataract problem, eye problem. And we did there so many cataract surgery. Most of the old age people also, they are not any checkup. They don't have any checkup. And some of the villagers are so happy that they say that in old time they get the checkup, and they can see the view. Because of some of they don't have money to get surgery, to get health checkup. So some old women said that this we gave them view, and is so happy that they thought that they will die without the view. So they were very thankful for us. And some next slide is work done at Bandipur. Like as I have see in the before slide, some pictures are 12 tourists trapped in lockdown, and some public awareness program in Bandipur we did. Like as the next work done is some distribute soap, masks and sanitizer with the collaboration with village council, and provide them the food, water. People who come back from the India, who were work in India, most of the people lost their job. They came back, and they were in 14 days quarantine, and they have a food problem. So we provide them food with the collaboration of District Tourism Board and Bandipur municipality. And then 150 tree plantation, that their picture is shown there. And beside that, we have other organization, collaboration with other organizations also. And Mitrata is doing they have a student, children who are staying in hostel. Some are the young children and some are the after class 12, so younger one also. All students who are going to the school because of this coronavirus, all schools are closed and they are taking virtual classes from staying in the hostel. And some these children most of the children are orphan, so some of are one parent, like some have one mother only, some have father only. So because of this lockdown, most people lost the job and they are also having a shortage of food, and Mitrata also supporting their family and the children food and daily needed stuff. And most of the Nepali children are getting those who are in private school, they are getting partial. Elsa, can you show the
Yes,
slide?
we're on.
I am in other organization, Mitrata Nepal.
Yes. Do you want me to transition
You
to
can,
the Work Institute?
yes.
Okay, so we're on the social work.
I'm
Slide 19.
yes. That the slide. Yes, this is after the picture of Mitrata. Yes, we are in Social Work Institute. Yes, I want to say a little bit about the student who are studying because these virtual classes are going on, but because of from the 16th July, Nepalese government and the private school organization, they have a little bit misunderstanding, and because of the demand of the school, and some parents are not paying fees because of their lost job. From the 16th July, virtual program was totally closed, and that will be reopened after the next notice only. So now I am in the Social Work Institute.
Right here, and I think you.
Okay, thank you.
Well, I don't know whether you're in the scene position.
I'm sorry. Social Work Institute is doing the same program, and they are doing the program as usual. Social Work Institute is also we visited there, and they are also doing the training and other programs by virtual classes, and they also distribute the sanitizer stuff and some food in Solukhumbu, which is there by Himalaya. They have so many projects there, and they are doing this all by collaboration with local government. And this is a photo of social work members with the Social Work Institute at Social Work Institute. Thank you. This is for today.
Thank you, Soni. We apologize again for the technical difficulties. It's hard across so many miles sometimes to have the connections we'd like, but we are so grateful for all the
sometimes it's difficult, yes.
that you and Fulmati are doing.
Do you understand or not? Yeah, we are thankful to you all. If you have any questions, if you don't understand anything, you can ask me.
Thank you, Soni. I'm not sure if you could hear Ilsa, but she was saying how grateful all of us at IPM are. Remarkable work that you continue to do, and the real inspiration that Fulmati is for so many people in her community, having been there and hiked over mountains and helped her, you know, a little bit with her work on a day-to-day basis a few times. I just, I should say, accompanied her. Really didn't help. She had to help me up and down some of the mountains. It's just it's really remarkable and wonderful what you're doing. And I did want to express the greetings of Rosalie Kell, who's not able to be with us, who's worked with IPM for many years and traveled to Nepal with the solar light project that she helped coordinate here where I am in Maine. And that was really a wonderful experience for Rosalie to go, as it was for Ilsa, but then also for Mahesh and I to go back a little bit later after the earthquake and to be able to see the impact. So I'm not sure if Fulmati is able to say anything or if we can hear her, if she'd like to add anything at this time. I'll just give her a minute to respond. And if not, we can open it up for any questions or comments that anyone has. I would ask Ilsa, I'm sorry, but if you're on the Facebook feed, if you can see anything in the chat function there, I'm going back and forth between Facebook and Zoom on my phone, but it's pretty delayed, which is why I keep stopping the video. Fulmati, is there to add at this point?
Sorry?
फुलमती दिदी तपाईँ एड गर्न चाहनुहुन्छ भन्नुभएको यसमा केही भन्नु छ भने
हैन खासै छैन त्यो हामी गरिराखेको तपाईले भनिराख्नु भयो त्यसमा केही छैन I think so Soni to explain everything so I think the support through the Soni
आप भी थोड़ा बोलिए अच्छा लगेगा
what you are doing now
सुन्नु भएन
सुनेछ तपाई पनि भन्नु भन्नुभएको फुलमती दिदी सुनिरहनु भएको छ फुलमती दिदी
कनेक्शन चला गया लगता है इनका
फुलमती दिदी तपाई पनि भन्नुस् भन्नुभएको I think she lost the internet. Fulmati Didi?
I think we lost her now.
Yeah, it seems like we lost her. So why don't we open it up as best we can. We knew this was going to be a bit of a challenge. Ilsa apologized earlier, and I would like to reiterate that. We haven't done a Zoom forum yet with our colleagues in Nepal. We have had Fulmati join for the IPM board meeting, which she's now a member of the International Executive Board as of this year, which we're thrilled, as I mentioned earlier. And Soni has been able to participate in a couple of phone calls with us. But, you know, power in Nepal, in the best of cases, is a challenge. And, you know, with the pandemic and with everything else that's going on, really difficult right now. So let's open it up to see if anyone has any questions or concerns they'd like to share at this point. And please go ahead and just speak into Zoom directly. Unmute yourself and go ahead and ask whatever you'd like, if you know, or you can type.
I think maybe I would just like to, sorry if I'm jumping in here, but my immersion travel to Nepal is one of the most memorable experiences of my life. I had the opportunity to travel there with a group of students from the Cleveland Metropolitan School District. And I believe it was 2013. These years are flying by, but I remember such wonderful, impactful work, you know, Soni, that you facilitated along with Mahesh and Fulmati for us to see. And I remember the students, for many of them, it was their first time on a plane. It was the first time they were away from their families. And it really opened their eyes to the bigger global world and all that we share as a community. And by the end of that trip, so many of those students were saying, I can be a positive change in this world. And this trip was really very meaningful to me. So it just is amazing what our immersion program allows us all, whether it's students or adult individuals, but what it allows us to see in terms of our common humanity and, you know, so much love in the world that, you know, you really brought to light in Nepal. So thank you, Soni, for the work that you're doing. And Fulmati, we continue to be in awe of the impact that you're making.
You are welcome, Elsa. I always remember that we travel in the bus, and the situation. Do you remember?
Yeah, I don't know if we lost. I'm trying to see now. Ilsa looks like she's muted.
Oh, I apologize. I needed to unmute myself. I do, Soni, very much remember those trips traveling, and I was saying how the traffic laws in Nepal are quite different than they are here in the United States. But I remember walking along the road, and there was a random cow that was next to me. But you know, the experience was just wonderful, and the kindness and graciousness of everyone we met was truly memorable.
Anyone else have any questions or comments? Anything you'd like to share this morning with Soni or Fulmati? I know that we're a little delayed in our communication, going back and forth with the time and the internet the way it is.
Oh,
Yeah, I think you're muted. Go ahead.
yeah, it's Carol. I am just so excited, I guess, about knowing that work is still being done in Nepal, because we had been very close to Leah and know all of the, or a lot of the programs that were done up in the mountains themselves with water and health and schooling and the whole mirage of everything that was going on in Nepal at that time. And to see that now is so enlightening, so encouraging. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome, Carol. I mean, I think that it's...
Yes. She started in 1992. You are welcome.
Was it
Yes,
1992, Soni?
Maybe 1992 or...
Yeah.
She started, but I have joined in 2000 with Leah.
Right.
And that time was Grow Golf Banjang Grow. Its project was, yes, it's in healthcare, tree planting, and education, agroforestry. The four sector we had program there.
Yeah, Carol, you may be interested to know that there's actually a small organization in Surrey, Maine, only about a half an hour, maybe 40 minutes from where I am now. And there's an organization there called Seed Tree Nepal. And just completely incredible. When I was there, I don't think it was the last time. I think it was the trip prior to that. We were with Leah and we were, you know, driving around, and we ran into this woman who is named Kamala, who's the founder of the program, who, you know, lives less than 45 minutes from me, and spent the day with her and learned about their reforestation program. And I think it was primarily, Mahesh may remember, or Soni, what are those berries that in the trees?
Mulberry.
They were... Yes, mulberry.
Mulberry.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now Kerala, yes, Carol is in Nepal. She is continuing the same seed tree program.
Yeah.
Now she is planting plums
Wow.
And
Do you,
yes, so many in different areas. Yes, and she think that that should be planned for the birds and for people also. It helps to bird for food. She's yes, continuing the same project in Chitwan.
is she there personally now, or?
Yes,
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not connect with her, but sometimes she posts the pictures of the city Nepal in the
Mhm.
Facebook. I
Nice.
think she is in Kathmandu. She is in Chitwan. She is in Nepal. She is
That's what.
continuing the same. Yes.
Yeah, I believe she's there. I believe she stayed
Yes.
since the pandemic. So.
Yeah,
What?
She's
Chitwan
in,
is the elephant place, right?
yes, yes, we did. We went to the field area also, that we saw many mulberry plants there, and some visited there when in our immersion trip.
Mm-hmm. Right.
This is Margie Hazel. I'm an IPM board member. Just want to say how appreciative I am every week, every time that I get a chance to interact with the IPM staff and the partners. Just to so much appreciation for the talented people around the world that IPM supports, and the unique and grassroots aspect of the programs that IPM supports. I just think it's, I'm struck every week by the difference of each of the projects in each of the different countries, and what kind of runs through the talented and dedicated program partners and staff. So hats off to everybody.
Thank you, Margie. I wasn't sure if I was muted or not, but
Thank you. Thank
yeah.
you. It's because of you all people.
Well, Soni is being humble as she usually is, as is Fulmati, but their work, I mean, you really have to, you know, as Ilse said, you kind of have to see it to believe it. It's really quite remarkable. And I would say in Bandipur, you know, the group of women that Fulmati works with is as well organized and clearly committed to one another of any women's cooperative I've been around anywhere in the world. It's really stunning what they've been able to accomplish there, and we're, you know, it's our honor to be able to partner with both of them.
So,
About any?
Carol just shared a comment that said that she makes a dish, and I'm probably not pronouncing it correctly, nasi goreng. It's one of in one of her cookbooks, and every time she makes it, it reminds her of Nepal.
Mm. Beautiful. I'm just looking at who else is on the call. I don't want to put anyone on the spot. I know Soni, and you know, my mom's on the call, I can tell, and I don't want to sound like too much of a mama's boy here, but I know she always enjoys seeing you and spending time with you when she comes to Cleveland. So when you come to Cleveland, so probably having a hard time unmuting herself. My dad still talks about wanting to go to Nepal with me someday. Hopefully we'll be able to make that happen. But I know they would both say that they appreciate seeing you and all the hard work that you do continue to do. And we should point out that Mark Schulte, Leah's sister, is still, you know, active with IPM in a really helpful way. He monitors our legal status in St. Louis, which is our founding city, longtime board member, and their entire family is just remarkable. Mark and his brother Chris supported quite a bit of work. This is really for Adela and Vicky's benefit and Aneta. A lot of what happened at the Martin de Porres School at the Fundación Aragon in Alzate was made possible, at least the IPM funding, through the Schulte family. So there's an interesting connection not only to IPM in Nepal, but also to IPM in El Salvador, which is quite remarkable if you think of how far apart those two places are, but how interconnected we all are through this work that we do together. Mahesh, is
So
there
I was just going to mention, Mark Schulte actually followed up with me, left me a message, and I followed up with him as well. He was very excited with our recent Facebook post about Fulmati's work with the tree planting. And I had the sense that he was interested in supporting that in some way. So as soon as I am able to connect with Mark, I'd be happy to share. I was hoping he could join us today, but it looks like his schedule does not permit that. But I don't know if there's any particular best way for Mark or any of us to support the tree planting efforts. I don't know, Joe, if you or Soni or Fulmati have any on that.
Yeah, well, Soni and Fulmati can speak obviously better than I can to that. I would say that, let them speak, but from my experience, there's always, need for reforestation programs, particularly in and around Bandipur. And as the country continues to develop, the importance of having trees as part of the watershed and also to prevent erosion in some of the mountainous areas, of which most of the country is, as you know, is pretty vital. We have supported some things directly through Seed Tree Nepal as well in the past, and we can certainly rekindle, but continue to partner with that nonprofit. But Soni or Fulmati, do you have any perspective on funding or support for reforestation or tree planting like that mulberry? It's funny because mulberries are often in the U.S. cut down because they can be so invasive in backyards and do so much damage to foundations, but they're really important in a mountainous environment like Nepal for exactly that purpose, for holding back the soil and keeping homes intact. Soni, any thoughts?
Yes, we have the lemon plants. Some are doing lemon plant project, some are doing mulberry project. Fulmati दिदी
हजुर
कुनैमा यस्तो गर्ने छ त सिट्री जस्तो
this is I म भनिदिन्छु अलिकति थाहा छैन बुझ्छ बुझ्दैन हैन just we are planning to the plantations the reforest because there is always damage by fire and landslide, therefore we are replanting there, and therefore this is the support by the government or forest office, and they send us sampling, and we are our group. We have maybe 25 women's group, so a small group. That is a small group. So all are we are going to there, and planting this plant. Otherwise, all managed is myself. I bring to from office and sapling and errands and yes, this type of. This is a tree plant. This is a kind of the neem, and but I am not know about this name neem and chop. We call it for flowery kind of the asok and masala and boar and people. This type of the plant nowadays the replantation. Okay, that's it. भन्नु अरु के त मलाई बुझ्दिन जस थाहा हैन
अरु ठाउँमा ट्री प्लान्टिङ त्यसो चाहिने छ भनेको ट्री प्लान्टिङ
this that time is so landslide मा चाहिँ धेरै प्लान्टिङ गर्नुपर्छ नि त this is a need to the nowadays is so flood and landslide, and this landslide is recovering the for what the inch Into forest, I don't know, the engineering forest kind of this type of, so where is a dam, make a dam and put in the forest. This type of the people is people doing, and our municipality also supporting this type of the project. So we are also demanding this type of so many places. That's it in the Bandipur.
Yeah,
do you understand? Fulmati is saying because of landslide, there some forests are damaged by the landslide. So some of the area they need the tree planting, and with the collaboration of the municipality, she is doing some places she is doing tree planting. Besides that, some of the area they needed for planting, tree planting.
Window on the side is closed.
some of you are not. Some of you are not muted. I know that voice, so I won't out you. But I would say that Mahesh just commented, just to point out that the neem tree is from the mahogany family, and it's fast growing and also has a remarkable array, really, of medicinal properties. We have a copy of a book that many of you remember, Derek Jenkins, who was the really intimately involved with Dr. Charles and the Kanyakumari Health Trust in South India and Tamil Nadu, near where the Mayer family was based. And Derek and Paul, his son, have obviously stayed pretty and really engaged with IPM through the Mary Jenkins Hospice, which is also on the Agricoil. But just as important to point out that they have a really remarkable book that Derek put together on the medicinal properties of neem. So I have that, or we have that in the office. And if people are interested in learning more about the neem tree, we'd certainly be happy to share that information with you. It's NEEM, and it's not a tree that, is kind of very popular in the States. It can be grown in the South in particular, but it's of huge medicinal and even forestry, of benefit in Nepal. Was there another question there? Seeing there's quite a few in the chat now. Let me just check. Says in Ayurveda medicine, Ashoka is known for its spiritual qualities as well as its many health benefits to the body. It is primarily beneficial for treating menstrual problems in women, including dysmenorrhea, abdominal pain, and uterine spasms. The bark of the Ashoka tree has an abundant amount of tannins, flavonoids, and glycoids that altogether work as a uterine tonic. The roots and seeds of the Ashoka treat skin conditions including acne, psoriasis, and dermatitis. The Ashoka tree, or Saraka, that was typed in by Mahesh. I want to give him credit. And for those who are not in the chat function or on Facebook, thought it would be important to point that out. So the Ashoka tree, otherwise I believe known in English as neem. Anyone else?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Just wanted to say hi to Soni. I think of her every day when I look at that beautiful magnet she gave me. And I pray for her and her safety, and keep up the good work.
Soni, could you hear that? We might have.
Oh, there she is.
Yes, now I can hear. Yes.
Yeah, that was, some of you know, that was my mother. And
Mom, yes.
Soni, she said she thinks of you every day when she looks at the magnet that you gave her from Nepal on her refrigerator. And she prays for your safety and for the continued good work of you and Fulmati and your families. I think Soni might be frozen.
Thank you, thank you. Because of your blessing, can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, because of your because of your blessing, we are here. Thank you for remembering. Once the coronavirus is gone, you all are welcome to Nepal.
Yeah.
You have to travel once a time.
Yeah. Well, we would all love to be there, and Vicky is on the call. And as you all know, we're hoping to be doing virtual immersions to Nepal, be able to offer them as soon as September or October, and certainly all hoping to be able to travel to that part of the world in the new year, and perhaps even have an IPM board meeting, as originally was planned for November of this year, next year in India, at which Soni and Fulmati would both be in attendance as part of the parallel South Asia regional gathering that we'd be having at that time. Are there any other questions or comments? Anything anyone would like to share at this point? Just looking on Facebook as well. All right, it's kind of awkward doing phone.
Yeah, I don't see any other comments on Facebook. I just want to again echo what both Carol and Margie had shared before in terms of the gratitude that we have for these forums. It connects us in exciting ways that we have not done before. And I just want to really, again, express my own personal gratitude to Soni and Fulmati for sharing all this information, because it's hard. We take for granted sometimes how easy it is for us to communicate with each other. But this is a challenge in many ways, whether it's the technology or the spoken language. And we're just so deeply grateful for the remarkable work that is being done around the world that is making life-changing and life-affirming differences for people. And you're all a part of this. You know, every time that you join us on these forums, you know, you give us the encouragement and the love that we need as a global family to know that we're doing the right thing in terms of helping people empower themselves and their communities. And as the IPM, as part of the IPM staff, I know I speak for everyone when I thank you all for these calls and for all that you're doing, whether it's through financial support, through volunteer efforts, through what have you. We are just so grateful for all of you being part of the family.
Thank you, Ilsa. That was beautifully said.
Thank you.
Clearly, I couldn't.
Thank you, Elsa.
Oh, you're very welcome.
Because of IPM, we are connected with all these good people. We found that the world is small because of IPM. So we have connected with all these good people, and we can connect it and share our side, and we can get a good thing from your side. So it's very great for us, and also we can also get chance to know everything from world, what we are doing and what all other.
Thank you, Soni. We have time maybe just for another comment. If anyone likes to add anything at this point, I'll just give you a minute. Again, we'd like to thank Soni and Fulmati in particular, and Mahesh for your help with the presentation today, and Ilsa for womaning our Facebook and Zoom feed from our Cleveland office. We are thrilled, as Ilsa said, to be able to have this virtual forum each Friday. We'll return to our normal 11 o'clock Eastern time next week, when we'll be joined by Fatima Pakas, who is actually currently outside of Los Angeles with her mother, who is unable to return to El Salvador because of the COVID pandemic and is sort of stuck in the USA at this point. And we'll look forward to hearing more from Fatima. As most of you know, she's doing her Fulbright at the University of Albany and really developing a remarkable expertise around gender equity and providing women in countries like El Salvador with the self-agency, well, not really providing them, but making them aware of their own personal agency and their ability to make a change in the world and to learn, as Soni said, that the world is indeed small, and despite those who would seek to divide us, that we're all connected to one another in our brotherhood and sisterhood, and working together, I hope, to bring justice and peace to our world. So I want to thank Soni and Fulmati again for the time. I know it's really late in Nepal, and this is a difficult time to be on a call with their families, but I appreciate them making the time to join us. And as I said, if you're interested in possibly being a part of a virtual forum to Nepal, you can reach out to Vicky Jimenez, who's on the call, at V Jimenez, Jimenez, at IPMconnect.org if you want to learn more about that. Today at 2 o'clock, we'll be joined by Marta and Luz Dari of the Centro para la Formación de la Paz, the Center for Peace Formation in Ibagué, Colombia, and also with Ser Mujer, I Am Woman, which is a really powerful organization, sister organization of the center. The center works primarily with children, and Ser Mujer supports women working in the marketplace, particularly indigenous women from the countryside, at a really difficult moment now, because as you can imagine, with COVID-19 and the concerns about transmission, the kind of impact that's having on markets and market centers around the world. So that's going to be a wonderful conversation at 2 o'clock in Spanish this afternoon, and then again with Fatima Pacas next Friday at 11 o'clock Eastern, and then 2 o'clock with Anita of one of the really vibrant base Christian communities still active in the capital city of San Salvador. Many of you have traveled with us there, will have visited her, heard her story about the remarkable work of that community during the Civil War in El Salvador, and subsequently, particularly in relation to the gang conflict. They're based in Mexicanos, which is one of the very difficult communities right on the edge between the MS-13 and 18 in San Salvador. So a wonderful couple of forums coming up this afternoon again and next Friday, and we'll look forward to seeing you all then. As always, from all of us at IPM, thank you for all that you do to make our work possible, and particularly the really important and long-standing efforts of Fulmati, Thapa, and Soni Shrestha, our partners in Nepal. So may you have a good day, and may the peace that passes all understanding be with you throughout the weekend and the coming week. Take care, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Fulmati.
Yeah, thanks,
Have a
Leah,
good day,
Fulmati. Thanks.
all. Namaste.